Okay, let's talk about online ads. Have you ever felt like you're just pouring money into a black hole, hoping something sticks? You are definitely not alone. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the two biggest engines in digital advertising, social media and search. We're going to figure out how they work, and more importantly, how to make them work for you.
But first, a quick story. Because if you don't know the difference between these two engines, you can burn through your budget so fast it'll make your head spin. A professor I know learned this the hard way. See, he was running a Google Ads campaign to get students for a university nursing program. The clicks were rolling in, he thought he hit the jackpot, until he dug a little deeper and realized he was paying good money for clicks from people looking for tips on breastfeeding. Yeah, a very expensive mistake, but an absolutely brilliant lesson for the rest of us.
And that whole story really boils down to this one central question. It's the key to everything we're talking about today. What's the real difference between just finding a bunch of people online versus actually capturing their intent, knowing what they really want in that exact moment? So let's break down that whole nursing mess. It's actually the perfect way to understand the two fundamental approaches in digital marketing, push versus pull. Think of one as a megaphone, shouting a message to a crowd, and the other? It's more like a librarian, waiting patiently for you to ask a question so they can hand you the perfect book. And this right here is the heart of it. Social media is push marketing. You are jumping into someone's social feed, interrupting their scroll based on what you know about them, who they are. Search, on the other hand, is pull. You're not interrupting anyone. You are responding to a direct request. You're showing up as the answer to a question someone is already asking. All right, so let's pop the hood on that first engine, the social media engine. This one is all about audience discovery. It's about finding your people.
You know, social media platforms, they have this incredibly detailed, almost scary detailed, profile on every single one of us. So when you run an ad, you get to tap into that massive database. It's like you're creating demand out of thin air. You can introduce your brand to the perfect customer before they even realize they have a problem you can solve.
And when I say detailed, I mean it's kind of nuts. We're not just talking about age and where you live. These platforms know if you're a frequent traveler, if you shop online a lot. They even know about major life events. Think about this. You can target ads to people who have an anniversary coming up or who just started a new job. You can even target the friends of people who have a birthday next week. How powerful is that? Hey, looks like your buddy's birthday's coming up. We've got the perfect gift. It's incredible. Now here's a massive mistake people make all the time. You cannot just create one ad and splash it across every single platform. It just doesn't work. Every platform has its own culture, its own language. The professional, buttoned-up ad that does great on LinkedIn will be totally ignored on a visual-first platform like Instagram. You've got to speak the native language of each platform if you want to be heard.
And please, if you take one thing away about social ads, let it be this: mobile first. Almost everyone is going to see your ad on their phone while they're scrolling. If your ad looks weird, or if they click it and your website is slow and clunky on mobile, they're gone, instantly. It's not just a suggestion anymore. It's the only way to play the game.
Okay, let's switch gears. We've talked about the social engine for finding people. Now let's talk about the second engine, which is all about capturing intent.
This is a completely different world. With search, the customer makes the first move. They go to that little search box and type in their problems, their questions, their needs, and your only job, your entire mission, is to show up with the best possible answer. You're not an advertiser, you're a solution.
So you might be thinking, how can I possibly compete for popular search terms? It must cost a fortune. And you'd be right. But here's the secret. You don't have to. It's called the long tail strategy. Instead of fighting over a super broad, expensive keyword like shoes, you target a very specific phrase like women's waterproof trail running shoes size 8. There's way less competition, it's cheaper, and the person searching for that knows exactly what they want. The intent is through the roof.
And here's how you really dial it in. You get to control how precise your targeting is. But this last one, negative match, this is the hero of our story. This is the little magic wand that would have saved our professor from that nursing disaster. By simply adding -baby or -breastfeeding as negative keywords, he would have told Google, hey, whatever you do not show my ad to anyone searching for these things. It's your ultimate defense against wasting money.
So, we have these two incredibly powerful engines, but, they don't run on air. So let's talk about how you actually fuel them. How do you pay for all this?
With social media ads, you're often paying for impressions or views. It's called CPM, which stands for cost per mil, or cost per thousand views. If your targeting is super sharp, this can be a really efficient way to go. Search is totally different. It's almost always PPC, or pay per click. It's simple. You don't pay a dime unless someone is interested enough to actually click on your ad.
But here's where search gets really, really interesting. You'd think that the top ad spot just goes to whoever's willing to pay the most, right? Well, nope. Google has this secret ingredient called Quality Score. It's a ranking from 1 to 10 that basically measures how relevant your ad is. And trust me, it changes everything.
So what makes up this magic quality score? It really comes down to 3 things. First, Google predicts how likely people are to click your ad. Second, it checks if your ad copy actually matches what the person searched for. And third, it looks at your website to make sure you're providing a good experience and delivering on the promise of your ad. If you can nail all 3 of these, Google will absolutely reward you for it.
And when I say reward you, I mean it. Check this out. A high-quality score is literally like getting a massive discount from Google. An advertiser with a perfect 10 score can end up paying half as much for the same top ad spot as a competitor who only has a score of 5. It's proof that in search, it's not just about outspending your competition, it's about outsmarting them.
Okay, so we've got our 2 engines. We have social for finding people and creating demand, and we have search for capturing that demand when people are ready. Now for the most critical part, getting them to work together.
You see, this was never an either-or choice. The real pros, the best digital marketers out there, they aren't just social media experts or search experts. They're pilots. They're sitting in the cockpit and they know how to run both engines at the same time to get where they're going faster than anyone else.
So what does that actually look like in practice? Well, it's a beautiful feedback loop. You can look at what people are searching for on Google and use those exact phrases in your Facebook ads. You can run ads on Instagram to build brand awareness, which then causes more people to search for your brand name on Google. You can even retarget someone who clicked your search ad but didn't buy with a follow-up ad on social media. They feed each other.
And this quote from our professor really brings it all home. People don't always know why they do what they do. Someone might see your ad on Facebook, not think much of it, and then a week later, they search for your brand on Google and make a purchase. If you ask them why, they'll never say, "I saw a Facebook ad." They'll say a friend told them, or they just remembered it. They don't consciously connect the dots, but that first touch point on social was absolutely critical.
So, I want to leave you with this question to think about. Your ads are out there, they're running. But are your 2 engines, social and search, working together like a finely tuned machine? Or are they 2 separate, sputtering engines, maybe even fighting each other for the same fuel? The answer to that question could be the difference between just getting by and completely taking off.